Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Studebaker television.
Every weekend, I basically say don't burn the place down, and then you went and you burned the place down.
Ryan started the fire!
When I say you burned the place down, I don't mean people who listen to the show. I mean all the other jerks. I'm talking about folks in Seattle burning the place down, and Portland burning the place down, and Oakland burning the place down, and Austin burning the place down, and Louisville burning the place down. Just all sorts of fun happening all over the country. Why? Well, because there's a general mood. And the general mood is the American system sucks. According to the New York Times, from Los Angeles to New York, protesters marched in a show of solidarity with demonstrations in Portland, Oregon. In Seattle, they smashed windows and set fires. A shooting at a protest in Austin, Texas, left one man dead. So things are going really great. One thing you may have noticed, LA, New York, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Austin. What do all these places have in common? It's not demographics. Portland's a very white city. Los Angeles is a very Hispanic city. New York is a fairly racially diverse city. Austin is largely white. It has nothing to do with color. What do these places have in common? They are all places where the left runs the place. All of them. They're not trying this crap in the middle of Slayton, Texas. Red areas are not seeing this. And the reason red areas are not seeing this is because the woke left understands that the people that they can capture, the institutions they can capture, are all run by mainstream liberals. And liberals are going to let the leftists get away with this. Here's the deal. Conservatives are not capable on their own of stopping the chaos that is now engulfing the country. These are liberal cities. They are run by Democrats. And until Democrats decide that they are done with this, this is not going to end. If they decide that they are going to simply allow the woke left to eat their cities alive, there's not much the right can do about that. President Trump can send in some federal forces to defend federal property, but the federal government is not given the job, generally speaking, of reestablishing generalized law and order in America's major cities. If states and localities refuse to do it, the predictable result will be that everybody who has any shred of money will get out. That everybody who is living in these cities is not going to stick around and provide the tax base to, quote unquote, fix the problems of inequality. They're just going to leave. And then presumably they will be blamed by the New York Times for not sticking around. The day after Joe Biden is elected, this all ends. That is my prediction. Within a month after Joe Biden takes office, this all peters out. Why? Because all this is a pressure tactic being applied to law-abiding Americans, which is disgusting. If you are burning cities because you're trying to apply pressure tactics in any democratic polity, then you are, in fact, engaging in a form of political terrorism. And for cities to stand by and cave to that is not only the height of irresponsibility, it's incredibly dangerous, and it makes them complicit in this act. It's horrifying. None of this is going to alleviate any of the underlying problems, of course. Right? The fact is that you can tear down the systems, and the great lie is that when you tear down the systems, everything gets better for everybody. That's a bunch of crap. You tear down the system of law enforcement, the people who pay the most, by every available stat, are poor minorities. Okay, those are the people who paid the most in New York. They're paying the most in Chicago. They're paying the most in LA. They're paying the most everywhere. Those are the people who feel the brunt. But for the white woke left particularly, and now they're using BLM as sort of an excuse, tearing down the system has always been the goal. So here's the question. Are liberals going to cave to the white woke left? Are they going to cave to the causes of BLM, which is not white, obviously? Are they going to cave to the woke left generally? And are they going to use the woke left as a baton to club other good little liberals into line? Or will there be enough liberals to stand up and take hands with conservatives they disagree with and say, no, you know what? In a fundamentally free country ruled by the people through their ballot box, this cannot be allowed to stand. This should be a point of unity. No American should stand for rioting, looting. No American should stand for laser pointers being pointed at federal law enforcement agents who are protecting federal courthouses. No one should be standing for this. But instead, you have disgusting, ridiculous people like Jerry Nadler saying that Antifa is a myth. What's happening in Portland's a myth. Poof, it doesn't exist.
Do you disavow the violence from Antifa that's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
Sir, there's videos everywhere online. There's fires and riots. They're throwing fireworks at federal officers. DHS is there.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. You can see the footage everywhere, but this is why you can't trust the media, because only now are the media starting to report on the violence, and even when they do, it's through the prism of, but if Trump would just go away and remove the feds, then everything would be all better. Which, by the way, is the same exact line as if you remove all cops, crime goes down. People are fostering the chaos because they hope that it will end with policy they like. They are hoping to pressure citizens into capitulating. But bottom line is this, whether it's cancel culture, whether it is the destruction of America's major cities, so long as mainstream liberals go along with the woke left, so long as that is the coalition, so long as mainstream liberals see a greater danger to the country in mainstream conservatives than they do in the woke left, then the alliance of the woke left and the liberals actually is a majority in the country. Right? There's a significant minority in the country that is conservative, but these sort of mainstream liberal, kind of good-hearted folks who don't pay too much attention to politics, so long as they keep caving to the woke left will have the whip hand in American politics. And that's what we are watching right now.
fire guy. The fire guy.